First day, out here being able to work some, situational offense and defense. We worked some third down today. I thought, again, this was a day that there was a little bit of back and forth. I thought, early on in practice there were some plays there, 7-on-7, the first team period. I thought the offense did some really good things. I thought the defense kind of responded and played much better, towards the last couple, periods of practice. But there's been a lot of back and forth between both sides. The thing I've been most encouraged about is that our guys have been, for the most part, executing at a pretty good level and competing extremely hard against each other. So, and I think that's the way you get better. So, go ahead.
Dennis, what do you know about what happened with Chris Olave?
I think he just landed on his hip, but it's hip, and that's really about all I got right now.
Seems like Chase is getting more and more disruptive as the days go on.
Yeah. Look, he got more reps today. I think, the plan was kind of to try to get him about 3 or 4 reps in each team period. So I'd say he probably got, around 9 reps or something like that today in practice, which is, maybe about, a half to a third of what he might normally get if he was taking, full reps. But he's certainly a disruptive player, you can tell the difference when he's out there, and so now it's really about slowly bringing him along, allow him to continue to get more and more reps so he gets his body in football condition, and then he can kind of make sure he understands what we're trying to do within the scheme.
I know it's way too early to start talking about starting positions and who's going to play where on the starting 11, but do you feel like he's coming in with the mentality that I see an opportunity to get on the field right away?
Well, look, all of my conversations with him and all of our dialect has really been just about him coming in, committing to what we're going to ask him to do, and working his tail off at doing those things, and contributing to the team in whatever manner that is. And look, certainly he's out here competing, trying to be the best version of himself. And if he's one of the best 2 to have out there, then there's a chance that he's in the starting lineup.
If you have your full slate of options at defensive end, what kind of versatility does that give you, even on third down?
Well, yeah, I think if everybody is healthy, then I think we've got a lot of versatility, at the defensive end position, and so we've got some guys that have the ability to play on the edge. We've got some guys that have the ability to go inside, and in particular in passing downs. So I think there's a lot of versatility in how we can utilize those guys if we have the full array of that group.
How would that maybe change the mentality and, like, I don't know how often you send pressure? So, like, if you're winning more up front, does that change what you can do in the back?
Well, look, I think yeah, I think if you're able to get the best way to be able to rush the passer and play pass defense is when you can get after the passer and only have to rush 4. And now you can commit, 7 in coverage. And so I think that's where it always starts. And then, if you're not able to get after the passer as much as you need to with a 4-man rush, then you got to start bringing extra guys. And so, yeah, that would be the hope would be is that we've got, a group of guys, and not just 4 guys. I think the best defensive lines are the ones that have waves that they can just keep rolling guys in there. And so, offensive linemen, they don't substitute. They play the whole game. And so keeping fresh bodies on the defensive line, I think, is important as the game wears on.
Dennis, at this point, the 11-on-11s, when the offense hasn't put everything in, is this the part
the point in training camp where maybe the defense has an advantage in those because they're not seeing a ton and they're seeing this? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, look. Yeah, I certainly think that, and I think the same thing kind of goes offensively, and that you don't have as many things in defensively. So I think the earlier you are in training camp, the more I don't want to say simple, but the less complex the schemes are, and then as you get going, you begin to add and add and add and add and add and add, and they become more and more complex as you go along. I do think there's a certain, when you look at the passing game, there's a certain timing and rhythm that has to occur in the passing game, and that takes time. That's not something that happens on day one, and so I think from that standpoint, the defense has an advantage.
Yeah, when you're looking at that NASCAR package, I know we saw Peyton Turner shift inside a little bit today. What is the kind of skill set? Is there a certain, are there things you look for someone who can make that shift inside more effectively? Because I know it was Kano a good bit last year, and he's obviously not.
Yeah, look, I mean, obviously it's different when you're rushing inside, but there's still a lot of the same characteristics. I mean, size and length are things that help you in terms of being able to rush the passer. The more distance you're able to create between you and the offensive lineman, the easier it is for you to be able to get from one move to the next to be able to rush the passer. Things happen a little bit faster, inside, so you got to be able to react a little bit quicker inside. You got a little bit more time when you're on the edge. But yeah, I think just that size and that length is something that we look for in guys to go in and rush inside.
The versatility that Nick was asking about, do you see it on a day like today where the pass rush seemed like it had a pretty good day? Yeah.
And look, I'll go back and look at the tape and see exactly what it looked like, but I think the more guys that you have on the field that have the ability to win in a one-on-one rush, and if you think about it, if you got 4 rushers and you really got 5 protectors, then somebody's getting a double, but you're getting a couple of one-on-ones along the way, and so the more guys you have that have the ability to win a one-on-one pass rush, the better rush team you're going to be.
And it's not what you evaluate Wanda so far. What are you saying? What you like?
Well, I think, look, the number one thing I'd say is, for a rookie, his name's not getting called out a lot. And when you're an offensive lineman and nobody's really talking about you that much, that usually means you're doing a pretty good job. So he's picked up the scheme pretty well. The physical nature and the way that he plays, I think, has shown up out here. I think that, obviously that was the thing that attracted us to him in college. I still think, obviously he's still got, a long way to go. But I've been really, really encouraged with what I've seen and him making that transition, to the left tackle position.
Does that seem kind of, I don't know if natural is the right word, or like kind of an afterthought at this point? Are you just like learning how to play in the NFL rather than learning to play?
Yeah, I think he's gotten through any rust or angst about playing over on the left-hand side. Now it's just really, understanding how to play that position in the NFL, and it doesn't matter whether you're a right tackle or a left tackle. It's it's a tough position to play, and but I think he's handled the adjustment well, and I think he's transitioning well to what we're asking him to do.
What about this offense? Like, it fits Jordan Mims? Why does he seem to fit it so well? Is it kind of like vision, or like what's?
Yeah, look, I think with the wide zone scheme, I think that's a run that he runs pretty well. I think he understands what those tracks look like. I do think he's got some good vision in terms of how to run that play, and so you buy yourself a little bit of time to make the reads, as you're taking this, wide zone path. That buys you a little bit of time, and look, I think our guys have done a really good job of really teaching exactly what we want these things to look like and exactly what we want this track to look like. And there's plenty of video examples of, hey, look, if you run the track exactly like this and you do it time in and time out, here's where the cuts end up being, you know. And so, look, I just think he's taken to that. He's studied it, and I think he's done a good job.
Do you have updates on St. Brown and Horvath?
Well, Horvath was away for personal reasons. I think his flight was getting back in today at 9:20, so he should be back out here. And St. Brown's got a little bit of a hamstring.
Is A.T. Perry taking a step forward, backwards? So where is he right now?
Well, yeah, I would say I wouldn't say either one. You know, I'd say he's kind of holding steady right now. I'm kind of waiting to see him, you know, do something that's going to jump up and catch my eye a little bit. You know, certainly we've seen some other guys, you know, step up and make some plays. Some guys that maybe we might not have expected, but I think, you know, look, I think AT's doing fine. I do think that he's got to, you know, do something to take that next step and you know, make one of those plays that's going to kind of catch our eye a little bit.
You say he's doing fine. What you've seen of other guys is doing fine enough to make this roster?
Well, doing fine in anything's not gonna end up cutting it, you know. And so, yeah, I mean, he, along with a lot of other guys, have to do some things to, you know, catch our eye and impress us, and so I'm still waiting on that from him.
You know, he had a pretty good opportunity to, like, the last half of the season to kind of get some playing time, and it seemed like he grew from there. Why do you think that step forward kind of hasn't happened?
Yeah, look, I can't say, you know, and it might just be that some of these other guys have stepped up a little bit more, you know, and made themselves noticed a little bit more, and so. But that's why we come out here and we practice and we do the things that we do out here at practice, and we go through the evaluation process. We're not cutting the roster today, you know. He's plenty talented enough to be on this team, and plenty talented enough to make plays for us. I just think we need to see it a little bit more often out here at practice.
So Lucas Patrick at left guard today. What is it about Lucas that kind of leads you to? Because it seems like he's back up at center, he's at guard. Yeah, look, he's a true veteran. You know, I mean, he's pro. Comes to work every day. He's got a great attitude, really smart, competes. Got a lot of qualities that we're looking for, and he's got experience. He's played in this league, and I know when we had to play against those guys in Chicago last year, you know, I thought they were well coached up front, and you know, I thought he was a good player for them. And when you're making, you know, obviously 2 changes at the tackle positions, is that helpful to just have a veteran in a new spot when you have kind of that shift?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think in a perfect world, we'd all like, you know, our whole offensive line to be a bunch of veteran guys that's been established and played at an elite level in our league for a long period of time, and but that's not where we're at right now. So. But yeah, having an established veteran that can step in and help in the communication and things of that nature, I think is, yeah, I think that's beneficial. Yeah. All right, guys, thanks.